Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel, or welcome back if you've been here before. My name is Liz and this is Let's Get Lizical, where we do everything card making. And today we are participating in Inky and Scrappy's Get Creeping on Halloween card challenge, where the last day of every month we post Halloween cards. And this month I really wanted to work with the jelly plate because I've been watching artists' videos and they've been inspiring me. I'm not going to be using the two new brayers that I bought for that today, but I am doing this technique that I did for a card I did for my mom previously, and it's basically just using ink cubes, laying down your ink, and just like letting that texture stay. So we're not going to be blending this out, making a smooth blend out of it or anything. We're just going to leave these like little boxes in there. It gives it a lot of texture, and it does dry back. It's not quite this like textured, you'll see on the finished card, but I do like that like chunky, like, I don't know how to describe this. I like the way that it looks, and that it's pretty much effortless. Like, I'm doing one color at a time. You can do them all together if you want. I found that doing it one color at a time was easier, and then you can kind of just go back and forth, add more layers to it. It will blend out a little bit once the ink soaks into the paper, because that's the way that the dye inks work. But I was just basically going for a night sky like ombre look, and I just kept, dotting the ink cubes on in kind of a back and forth motion. Like, I'm not doing it straight across up and down. I'm kind of like twisting them as I go, just to give them different lines. And then because I'm using Simon's Positively Saturated inks, they are water reactive, so I'm spraying it with my distress sprayer. And then I added a little bit more to it with this paintbrush because I wasn't getting big enough splatters out of it. You're supposed to like press it down a little bit when you use the distress sprayer, but this time for some reason it was giving me pretty much a fine mist no matter what I did. So I went in with just a plain paintbrush, and then I went in with the darkest color of the trio, which is Galaxy. I used Morning, Twilight, and Galaxy for these. And then I kind of splattered a little bit of that on, and it's still damp, so it kind of blends in a little bit. If you wanted it to stand out a little bit more, you would do it after it's dry. But I like the way that this background turns out. Like, I absolutely love it, and I want to do a ton of these types of backgrounds. And then I do want to try using my brayer and doing smoother backgrounds and different textures and stuff. So I might do another video for that in the future, or you'll just see me bring it out every once in a while, which is probably more likely what will happen. And then for the images, I am pulling out my Honeybee Lovely Layers bat. I absolutely love this die set. It is adorable. The first card I did with it last year, I did a white bat that was kind of reminiscent of Bartok from Anastasia. If you've ever seen that cartoon, if not, go watch it. It's great. And I wanted to make a fruit bat this time, so I googled some images of a fruit bat. And mostly, like, they have black and brown colors, and I'm using black cardstock, charcoal gray cardstock that I used in my video the other day, and this brown cardstock. And they're all Michael's Recollections 65-pound cardstocks, and the black comes in its own paper pack, the gray is part of a gray pack, and then the brown is part of another brown pack. And then for the brown, I am just adding a bit of like shadow here and there, changing up the colors a little bit just with like an alcohol marker. And then I'm just like blending it out a bit. This is Zero Colorless Blender from Olo. And originally you're supposed to add the wings on top of like the fur tuft under their chin, but I didn't want to cover that because that was where the majority of the brown color was coming from. Like, there's some in his ears as well, but I wanted it to show a little bit more, so I glued it on top. You could do it either way. I think this looks cuter, to be honest. He just kind of like looks like he's a little bit more, snuggled up, and then his like fur just kind of sticks out a bit. And then I'm adding some white highlights just to give it a little bit more character. And I am going to tone these down a bit because they are a little stark with alcohol markers. I'm not sure if this does anything to your markers, to be honest, so use at your own risk kind of thing. It might gum them up, but I've never had an issue with it myself. And I just like wait till the pen is dry, and then I'll go over it with an alcohol marker just to like give it a little bit of color. Like it doesn't give the full color to the marker because it's just kind of like sitting on top, and it's translucent ink, so it adds a little bit of the color without having to add it all. So here I'm just coloring over the entire bat wing with a W3 marker by the looks of it. 3 or 5, I'm not sure. Again, Olo markers, I love them, and slowly making the change over. And I had to buy a new marker stand for them because the ones that I have right now are the angled ones, and the ink was all going all towards the one marker that I had, whatever end I had towards the bottom, because these markers are 2 different markers with like loose ink in the barrel, as opposed to other markers where they have the felt in the barrels. So right now they're laying flat on my desk until my new stand comes in, and then I will switch them over to that. But yeah, warning, if you do have the Olo markers and an angled marker holder, you probably want to get a flat one. But anyway, side note, I'm using this branch die. I don't remember where this came from. It could have even been from like Wish or Temu or something like years ago. Just a skinny little branch. The branch, there is one branch that's included in with the die set for the bat, but it's such a tiny branch I didn't want to use it, and decided to use this one instead. So if I can find something similar, I'll link a like legit product that's similar to that and include that instead. But I am working on another mini slimline card for this month, and I love the way, again, the background looks. And then the bat's just kind of like hanging out on this branch upside down. He's super cute. Absolutely love it. Again, I think I like the fruit bat version. It's really cute. And then for the sentiment, I pulled out Lawn Fawn's Fantastic Friends, which is their bat stamp set. And it's just going to say, let's hang out. So this is not necessarily a Halloween card, I guess, but it can be. You could put happy Halloween on the inside. You could use this as like a Halloween invite. That would be fun. It does take a little bit of time to do the layering on and die cutting, but if you're making a couple of them for a small group, then that would be great. And then the let's hang out can be part of the, you know, party invitation. So I'm just gonna stamp that using some black ink right directly onto the card. I probably should have laid this out a little bit better before I glued the bat down. I probably would have moved him over a little bit just to give me a little bit more room, because I wasn't sure where to place that sentiment, but I wanted it close to the bat. I tried putting it in other places, it just didn't look right. So it ends up here. And I'm just using my clear Stardust Jelly Roll pen just to add some like atmospheric dots or, you know, sparkly stars in the background. But I really like how this card turned out. The bat's super cute. The background looks great. Again, I will do this again in the future, maybe with some different colors. A nice sunset background might look good with this, or just like a mixture of colors. We'll see. But that's pretty much our card for today, guys. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel because I'd love to have you here. If you'd like to see additional inspiration on cards, then you can head on over to my Instagram or Facebook, where I try to post every day, Monday to Friday. And until next time, thanks guys, bye.